Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three. Got it.
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Up and in. 1 point more to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field. Back toward the wall. Gone.
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
Super Regionals. The Ducks getting ready to host the Super Regionals here at PK Park. It's official. 5 o'clock on Friday, 6 o'clock on Saturday, a to-be-determined time on Sunday if necessary. If the Ducks or Oral Roberts win the first two games, then there won't be a game on Sunday. Friday at 5, Saturday at 6. It'll be televised on ESPNU, and we will have pregame starting at 4:45 across the Oregon Sports Network on Friday and at 5:45 across OSN on Saturday. I'm happy to report that this game is sold out. Student tickets are already sold out, and they just went on sale. Thanks to Duck fans everywhere for turning out in a big-time way. It's been awesome for me to experience the buzz around Oregon baseball. The Ducks are in the Super Regionals for the first time since 2012. You heard Ryan Milano go through some of the report on what it all means yesterday. It is a big deal for the Ducks, and there's a lot of things that are still in motion, but here are some of the details for you. There's currently a ticket promotion going on. So if you're in the baseball mood and in the mindset, new and renewing season ticket holders for the 2024 season will receive a 25% discount if they get in on season tickets before the Ducks postseason run ends. You've got all week until at least Saturday. 25% off new and renewing season tickets right now, because we're taking advantage of this postseason fun. I mean, why wouldn't we have a ticket promo at this time? Some of the details, it's mostly going to be a normal game day operation at PK Park, but some of the notes from our events office, I just walked out of our events office actually. Gates will open 2 hours prior to first pitch. The box office will open 2 hours before as well if you have ticket things going on. Otherwise, it's a regular game with free parking, a clear bag policy, re-entry to the ballpark with a stamp. Those are just some of your details, and there's more available on goducks.com/superregional. That's your tournament hub for everything that you need to know for the 5 o'clock game on Friday and 6 o'clock game on Saturday. Oregon hosting Oral Roberts, who won the Stillwater Regional, and the Ducks won the Nashville Regional. It's been a long time since the Ducks have been to Supers, first time since 2012. That Kent State series where the Ducks lost game 1 6-7, won game 2 3-2, and then lost game 3 3-2 on a brutal bloop to left field that I still have nightmares about. Ducks are looking to get to the College World Series for the first time in the modern era. They appeared there in 1954 before the program disbanded for about 30 years, and now here we are in the modern era, and Oregon is looking to go to the College World Series. That'd be a lot of fun to head to Omaha, wouldn't it? Oral Roberts will break them down a little bit more throughout the broadcast and heading into the weekend, but they're built on pitching. All three starting pitchers are very good. They've got a closer with 15 saves, built on pitching, and they've been scoring some runs of late. You don't win 21 straight games and not be a good baseball team. Ducks have won 9 straight. Oral Roberts has won 21 straight. It might be the two hottest teams in the country that are squaring off this weekend at PK Park. I think you can make a very strong argument for that. Looking forward to it. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens, we actually recorded with him earlier in the studio today. Had something come up this afternoon. He was kind enough to record with us today. We have that for you. Also, Melyssa Lombardi, Oregon softball head coach. And it'll be the last time this year that we chat with Ryan Milano OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire, the sports director at KWVA. We got a lot to cover on today's program. Before we hear from Rob Mullens, also some track and field news because it's National Championship weekend coming up for Oregon track and field, particularly on the women's side, looking for a podium finish. And we've got a pre-NCAA outdoor watch list for the Bowermen. 5 members. One of them is a Duck. Rinde Van Klinken is on the Bowerman outdoor watch list heading into the NCAA championships. The active career leader with 17 appearances on the watch list, including all 8 releases in 2023. Let's go Ducks. Now let's hear from Rob Mullens. Earlier today, sat down with the Duck athletic director ahead of a big super regional weekend at PK Park. It's a busy day around the University of Oregon athletic department, but we actually changed this to a recording with Rob Mullens for his final appearance on Duck Insider a few weeks ago, and now we've added super regionals to your plate. What's your calendar like today?
Well, it's exciting, to be honest with
Good.
you. The fact that we get another opportunity to have the Ducks at home.
Yeah.
I think when we were on last, we were talking about, there could be some things that go our way. And, to go on the road in SEC territory and beat what many believe to be the top baseball program, of the last decade, and then have a right to come back to PK Park to host a super regional is obviously has this building a buzz, but also has people scurrying about because there's a lot to execute.
No doubt, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. So we've gone through some of the nitty-gritty details just a moment ago on the show open, but now talking about just what this means for the program, Rob, I wanted to point out, Oregon is 5-4 against Vanderbilt. That's amazing considering, to your point, that's a team that has 2 national championships and 2 national runner-up finishes in the last decade. I feel like it says a lot, just that number, about what Oregon baseball has accomplished in the modern era. I mean, you talk about how fast the program has returned to national prominence.
Right, no doubt, and that's an incredible record. And some of that, and to go on the road in that environment and do it is even all the more remarkable. And you can look at any recruiting ranking; they're going to be in the top 5. Look at the draft choices; they're going to be in the top 5. So that's an amazing record and one that we're very proud of. And we just took care of business at a huge opportune time.
That's right. 9 straight wins for the Ducks, getting ready now for Oral Roberts' response, Rob. It's been pretty cool for me to see.
Unbelievable. The energy all the way through, finishing off the Utah series was really, delivering the message of our backs are against the wall. And we need to go accomplish something special. We go to Scottsdale under Wass's leadership and win a Pac-12 championship. What a great experience. And then that just carried on into the regionals. No one blinked. In fact, they cheered when we got sent to SEC territory.
That's right.
And to go take care of business the way that we did. And now, because of the break in the Stillwater Regional, the opportunity to have a super regional back at PK Park, our fan response has just been unbelievable. So you're going to have a packed PK Park. We're working on a lot of other things. This is a huge opportunity for Oregon baseball, and we want to do everything in our power to create that atmosphere that brings people back, that helps our student athletes, that showcases on national TV, because these super regionals get great ratings.
They do.
So what an opportunity, another opportunity for us. We've done it at Hayward. We've done it at the Jane. When we hosted women's basketball, both at Matthew Knight Arena and in Portland, people are always amazed. Here's another opportunity.
We've talked about that before. There are so many examples of bigger than athletics events that happen with Oregon athletics. It is a huge opportunity for the entire community.
It is a huge opportunity, for Oregon athletics, for Oregon baseball, for Eugene Springfield, for all the state. You're going to have a huge viewership, a huge opportunity, and if you're successful, what's on the other end of that is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it could be pretty special. I'll tell you, the buzz around here, so it's Tuesday. The first game is Friday at 5. Second game is Saturday at 6. If necessary game, don't know yet. Both games televised on ESPNU. I'll have the call on the Oregon Sports Network as well. Postseason baseball, it's always fun. You never know what's going to happen. Nice hat today, by the way.
I'm full baseball theme. I might
put a sign out. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We just that was great. I did want to ask you too, It's been a while since there's been a super regional at PK, and some of my best memories, actually, even though the Ducks lost that super regional to Kent State, the environment was just electric. It was outstanding.
It is electric, and as you watch postseason baseball, that's what you see. In the opportunity that you earn to be at home, and we've earned that opportunity, is a huge advantage, and you have to take it. You have to cash in on that advantage.
Yeah.
And so you want people in there often. The beauty of postseason sports, particularly baseball, as you recall when we hosted it last time, it's every pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel it on every pitch. We have the opportunity as the host to impact every pitch.
Yeah.
And so we want to fill PK Park as much. We want to put as many people in there as the fire marshal and the city will allow us to. We want them hanging off the rafters, so to speak, and, to create that incredible, incredible opportunity.
You mentioned that. So last time there were bleachers in the outfield.
Yes.
A lot of fans have asked me that. I don't know. Is that possible?
Nah, it's difficult. So we're exploring every option, but it's not in our control. If you'll remember the last time we were a national seed, so we knew we were hosting a regional, and we knew that if we won, we'd host a super regional, and that gives you a little more lead time. In this scenario, we have a short window to get materials, get labor, so we have to find the vendor that can deliver that, which is difficult. And probably even more difficult is the permitting, because it would have to be elevated. And so, in short, we want as many people as possible. We're exploring every option. That one, it seems, based on our conversations yesterday, is a difficult one, but one that we're going to run out.
There's a number of logistic things that go into pulling something like this off.
It's not as simple as just flipping a switch and having a bleacher, but we're exploring every option because, again, the fan response has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
We are going to pack PK Park. We know that. The only thing that's unclaimed right now are student tickets and the visiting team. We don't know what their allotment is, what they're going to take yet. So PK Park's going to be packed. It's going to be loud. It is going to be raucous. We hope from first pitch or even pregame on. We're exploring a lot of other options, for this festival, we'll call it, this Festival of Oregon Baseball Celebration. So there, again, there's a lot of things in motion.
So it's Tuesday. Come back to Duck Insider on Wednesday, and some things may change over a 24-hour
Absolutely.
period.
We have a lot of people running around,
Yeah.
Exploring all kinds of options to, again, make this a memorable experience. That's our goal.
And you mentioned the buzz. Like, it's one thing when there's a buzz around this building,
yes.
Rob. So just to put it in perspective, I've got 5 radio interviews today. And that's not just like with our affiliate network. That's even people who have asked, like, hey, this is a big deal for Oregon baseball, for West Coast baseball. That, to me, says that really there's a response to this team right now.
Yeah, so one, you have the passionate fan, right? The Oregon fan, the college baseball fan, the baseball fan that's paying attention. We're in the Sweet 16 now.
Yeah.
And so that brings a whole broader view of the casual fan.
Yeah.
So you get locked in, and it's huge for the brand. This is where brands are really accelerated. It's huge for the baseball program, the current student athletes, recruiting, NIL, you name it. So it's a huge stage, big opportunity, and we're ready to take full advantage of it.
Mark Wasikowski's made no bones about this, and he's not one to mince words, as you know, that the goal is to be playing at this time of year.
Absolutely.
And to continue playing through the month of June. It's cool, though, to see that come to fruition. I mean, this is a team that's had up and downs this year. There's no doubt about that.
No, and, it's I always kind of think of Dana's, sometimes me, sometimes you, always us. And this team, no matter what curveball, to use a pun, has been thrown at them, they've responded. And Waz articulates it, of how, he felt the funk and then how they moved out of the funk and, how young people have developed and, you just mix and match pieces and parts. And, Waz is one of the best in the country at pushing the right buttons, of getting everybody squared up. And, we're fortunate to have outstanding leadership on this team too. As we've said, if you can get old in college athletics these days with the portal, there's an advantage. And when you think about the Tanner Smiths, the Gavin Grants, now the Drew Callies, the veteran leadership carries a big weight in college athletics these days.
We've got more with Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens coming up. He really made me realize that I should have brought the baseball hat. Also, Matt Ulmer, please don't be mad at me. I put our Duck baseball hat on top of your volleyball. There we go. Now you can actually see that it's on the Matt Ulmer volleyball. There we go. That looks better. I should have brought the baseball cap, though. Rob made me realize that today. In any case, we've got more with the Oregon Athletic Director coming up. Ducks getting ready to host Super Regionals this weekend on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. It's our final week of Duck Insider. We always schedule it this way heading into the track and field championships. Our last show is actually Wednesday as we get ready for the Super Regionals this weekend. And that's why we are doing a little season review even with Rob Mullens. But a lot going on as we continue our conversation with the Oregon Athletic Director, Rob Mullens. I asked Waz on Sunday, what have been some of the keys to a winning streak like this? And the first thing he said was Gavin Grant.
Right.
First thing he brought up was the leadership of seniors and how, it's tough for people to even quantify what that means. But then at the end of the year, it gets a little easier to quantify what that leadership means, I think.
No doubt. And, you guys do a great job of conveying it to our fan base, but we get to see it every day.
Right.
You don't have to be around Gavin Gant very long to go, okay, I want that guy on my team.
Yeah,
I don't know. True. I don't care what we're doing. If it's work, if it's a cornhole, I want that guy on my team.
Yeah.
Because he's that kind of person and that kind of leader. We saw that in softball with Allie Bunker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are exceptional people who have, grown into incredible leaders.
Well, it's amazing, too, the parallels, because you got two veteran second basemen that are credited with a lot of leadership on the two diamonds. Tanner Smith's been breaking records left and right. Allie Bunker was breaking records left and right. That's pretty cool. Also, I wanted to ask you, talk about Allie Bunker, academic All-American. That is special.
It is very special. I think that's the highest honor that you can receive as a collegiate student athlete. It means you're getting it done in the classroom, which is the reason you're here, but you're also an exceptional player in your sport. So shout out to Allie Bunker, second time. That's pretty special.
Well, it's great to have Super Regionals in Eugene. I wish that there was also track and field championships happening in Eugene, but a chance, especially for the women, to go and do something pretty special out in Austin this weekend.
They should always be in Eugene. But beyond that, really special. Obviously, the way the format sets up, you have to perform in the regional. You know, you have to peak at that right time, because if you don't deliver in your event on that day, you don't get to go to the championships. So, you know, our team delivered, and now they'll go compete for a championship somewhere other than Hayward Field.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this last time. I don't want to completely keep bringing it up, but it is something to me that just it's worth repeating. I think that most people, around 99% of track and field, I think fans and everyone involved in the sport would love for it to be at the theater every year.
They would. The best facility in all of the world, and you know, maybe they have to go away once in a while to just appreciate how damn good it is here.
I like that. I'll take that. Rob Mullens, Oregon Athletic Director, joining us. You know, and for track and field, too, this is the first time that Jerry Schumacher's gone through an entire season. Some returning assistant coaches, but a lot of new assistant coaches as well, and still having a number of qualifiers on the women's side, 14. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Tournament. Yeah, and Jerry and his staff have done a phenomenal job. And now you get a chance to go compete for the big trophy. And, you know, in that sport at this school, that's what we're measured on.
Yeah.
I know that's lofty, but, you know, a lot of them have been hoisted here. So that's the goal.
Yeah, and I'd imagine, you know, talking with him and with others around the program, like, that's why you want to be here.
100%. Right? You know, is to compete at the highest level, to train with the best, to perform in front of the best fans, you know, at the best facilities. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, but no doubt the expectations are high.
Yeah.
But people embrace that.
Now, I'd imagine that you were probably going to be going to Austin this weekend, and that's tough. How do you handle this as the boss?
It is tough. I wish there were two of me sometimes.
Yeah.
That is tough. I'm trying to weave in high school graduation.
Yeah.
So, it's a mess. But all positive. So we'll figure it out.
Good problem to have.
Good problem to have. It's only Tuesday.
That's right. You know, again, only Tuesday. Could change in a hurry. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens with us. We've covered baseball, track and field. Before I ask you a couple big picture things, did we miss anything else in the spring you want to hit on?
No, obviously we're nearing graduation. And so, again, at the core of the student-athlete experience is the opportunity to get a world-class education at the University of Oregon. And so, you know, we'll be 10 days away from celebrating graduation with all of those student athletes, and you know, it's always a time of celebration, a little reflection, a little sadness to see those go, but know that they left an incredible legacy on Oregon athletics, and they'll go out and do great things.
Yeah, well, graduation was on my list. I'm glad you brought that up, and it is a large graduating class of people. You talk about the veterans on the diamond sports. The COVID year has meant we've got to know a lot of them for an extra year, which has been kind of cool.
No, we have, and you know, I'm glad the NCAA went that route when it went down, and many of our student athletes have taken advantage of that. So it is a big class.
Standout memories from the year so far?
Wow.
Or should I revisit this in August?
Yeah, that's always risky for me because I'll leave one out and be offended. You know, it's been a fun year for sure. Another incredible year from our fans, you know, obviously from Autzen, and, you know, when we hosted volleyball postseason, that was huge.
Yeah.
And here we have another one of those opportunities, you know, for softball to go on the road and win a regional on the road, again, at an SEC park. That's tough to do. So, you know, again, I violated my own rule and mentioned a few. I'm sure I missed several, so you could light me up. But, yeah, it was a fun year.
Yeah, we'll revisit that in August. And still some things to be taken care of. I mean, this is a busy time of year. And it's nice to still have teams playing, you know, like that's what I always say as Duck Insider. This is the last week of Duck Insider, and we always schedule that because the track championships are the last thing that are for sure on the calendar. But the way that it works out every year, it seems like there's always these build-ups to the end, and then I don't know how you feel at the end of every year, but I always kind of am like, oh. Like, it kind of hits me at the end of it.
You know, it's kind of when you talk to our senior student athletes, everything for us, it's kind of every year it comes to an abrupt end.
Yeah.
But for them, their college experience comes to an abrupt end. Like,
no kidding.
It goes so fast, and I know I sound like, you know, the old guy in the room of like, man, it just flies by.
But it does.
But it really does. And, you know, Waz said it best after the Vanderbilt game or after the win over Xavier in Vandy. He's just excited that this group gets to be together again.
Yeah.
And that's what most of our teams feel, right? They're going to have a great time at practice today because they still get to do it. They're going to have a great time at practice tomorrow, and they'll be ready to go on Friday. But it's all these other moments in between that are really important too, and they still get to do it together.
Well, and a lot still then to unfold over the next few weeks. A lot still to unfold over the next few weeks. Before I let you go, just headed into the fall, state of the department, state of college athletics.
I think we're in a great place. We have a great coaching staff, obviously, very high expectations, and an incredible support base. So as we're at this, somewhat turbulent time in college athletics with, the changes that are created by the transfer portal and NIL and other NCAA deregulation, we're fortunate to be a part of a family and a support group that really has us in a special place, and it allows us to to compete for championships, to provide that exceptional student athlete experience, and to have a heck of a lot of fun along the way. And we want to continue that this weekend.
That's right.
I mean, this PK Park experience is going to be special.
Yeah.
So whether you're in the park or in or around the park, we want to be great hosts to Oral Roberts University. We want them to walk away and say that was a first-class operation. And we will make that happen. And we also want to win and continue this journey.
That's right. Hopefully the journey go on a few more weeks. And now, we always end, as I said, Duck Insider this time. And so I always schedule you this date. It's always right around this date for one more go-round. But it's nice to know that with a few more events hopefully continuing, you might hear from Rob on the Oregon Sports Network again here in the coming weeks. Who knows?
If we happen to be on the road still playing, maybe we'll do a little pregame Duck Insider.
See, I like this. I like where we're going. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time,
thank
Rob.
you, guys. And again, thanks to the response for the Baseball Super Regional has been just amazing. And we want to do something special. We want people talking about this event long after it's over.
Me too. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah. I've got I don't get nervous when I go on the air anymore. I don't know. I still get nervous during games. I'm sure you're similar. I get nervous during big events still. I've got the anxious butterflies today.
No, I'm
all week long.
Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to fast forward too, and we just need to slow down and enjoy it. There's a lot to be done before Friday, but this is one of those opportunities that just doesn't always come around.
Right.
And this is a really, really neat event, and the opportunity to host it, we need to take full advantage of.
In through the nose. Thank you, Rob.
Here we go. Thank you, guys.
Really
Go Ducks.
Great stuff from Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens. Appreciate him taking the time. Super Regionals, 5 o'clock on ESPNU, and we'll have the call on the Oregon Sports Network on Friday, 6 o'clock on Saturday, to be determined on Sunday in the If Necessary game. All the details, GoDucks.com. Again, revisiting. Tickets are sold out. I understand student tickets are sold out, but there is a season ticket promo going on. As long as this postseason run goes, there's 25% off new and renewing season ticket holders for next year. So take advantage while you can. Baseball is on a run right now. The Ducks are 40-20, and they're on a 9-game winning streak heading into this Super Regional, looking to punch a ticket to Omaha for the first time in the modern era of Oregon baseball. When we return, switching gears to another diamond sport, our year-in-review chat with Melyssa Lombardi, the Oregon softball head coach, joining us after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Dear Summer, enter for a chance to win great outdoor gear at DearSummerSweeps.com. Toyota, let's go places.
No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents in select Oregon and Southwest Washington. Zip codes 18 plus years of age. Ends 8/123 at 11:59 p.m. PT. Void where prohibited. For complete rules, visit DearSummerSweeps.com.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. It's great to have Coach Lombardi back in the Country Financial Studio. Coach, I wish that we were talking on a Zoom call from Oklahoma today, but still getting to the Super Regionals. Congratulations on a great season. What were some of your takeaways?
Just like what an unbelievable year for this team. I think about how much growth that they've had from the beginning of the year to now. The biggest thing since day one is for us to go further than we've ever gone. And that was getting to the World Series. But, you know, we fell a little short facing a tough Oklahoma State team. But, you know, we were 2 games away from being in Oklahoma City. And that is really going to do a lot for us in this next year and the standard and knowing, you know, where we need to be and what our plan is. So I'm really proud of this group. I'm proud of the leadership. I'm proud of our 5th-year seniors, just all of them. You know, it's a tough season. It's a long season. And there's times in the season where you could possibly tap out and just say, you know, it's just we can't figure it out. And this team never wavered. They stayed on their mission from the beginning of the year all the way to the end.
You know, and touching on that, like you talk about the roller coaster of a season, and you and I talk weekly. You know, we're in it. We talk about everything kind of as it goes, but you end up finishing the year 38-17. I kind of wanted to ask you about that roller coaster, right? Like you had this gauntlet of a schedule in the middle of the season after a really strong schedule start, and you guys then go on that big winning streak. I mean, like there really were some true ups and downs when you kind of zoom out and take the whole picture, weren't there?
Yeah, there were, and that's what it is. You know, that's every team, whether you win the whole thing or you don't, they're gonna deal with their ups and downs. It's not getting too high, not getting too low, and staying in that middle and continuing to move upward. And I thought this team really was just a really mature team together, all understanding how important for their why to be the same, you know. And I think at the beginning of the year it wasn't. We had a lot of different whys, and they could have just left it at that, and they didn't. They wanted to get this group to have the same why and the same understanding of what it is that they're all going for.
Did it take some adversity maybe to get to that point? Like it kind of battle hardened your squad a little bit.
Oh, I think so. I think so for sure. You know, I remember when we lost the last game to Oregon State, you would have thought we lost the series, and we won the series. We were upset that we didn't get the sweep, but I felt like that was kind of a pivotal point in our season, because you would have thought otherwise, and that's when things started to shift for us, and we started to enter into that 13-game winning streak. So I think it takes adversity in order for you as a team to continue to grow and to continue to reach for, you know, what it is that you're wanting to accomplish.
Amazing too, like you just had that zoom out moment, right? Like you can now identify some of those turning points in a season. Do you have others that stand out over the course of the year?
Gosh, I mean, for sure. I think of, you know, in the past with this group, since I've been here with version 1, there was certain series in the pack that, you know, we were walking away over, and now we're winning those games and had opportunity to take more than one. So you could look back and just see the growth and big things that happen throughout the year that made a difference for us, and I think really allowed us to come in and to be ready for conference play, to come in and be ready for postseason play, and for these guys to be determined to get what they want and not settle.
reviewing Duck softball season with head coach Melyssa Lombardi. You know, I feel like the Pac-12, we can always talk about this every year, being so good and being such a gauntlet. What was your assessment now with the Women's College World Series going on? What was your assessment of the league? I mean, break it down for us.
Our league is tough.
Yeah.
You know, I've said it forever. It's a super regional every weekend, and I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, like you are going to be on top of the world at one point in the league, and then you're going to feel like you're not good enough in another part, and you can't allow those two things to get you. You got to really understand what's in front of you, but you've got to understand the big picture that goes along with it. And I think that's what our group, that's where we got to this year, you know, where before, like you're having some struggles and you're just seeing what's in front of you. But this year being able to see both and just the maturity that our team had with that is what allowed us to go as far as we did.
A few minutes ago, you touched on getting that far, you know, and what that meant to the program. How can you quantify what it meant just to this group? Talk bigger picture about the program in a second, but just for this group, for version 5, for the seniors that are on this roster. I mean, how big of a deal was it to get to the Supers?
It was big, and it wasn't us just settling to get to a Super. We went to the Super to go to the World Series.
Sure.
You know, a couple things just didn't go our way, and we faced a tough Oklahoma State, you know, and they did a little more, obviously, than we did to punch their ticket. Right. So it's huge for us. You know, I think for coaches, players, you want it all, and you want it all now.
Sure.
And there's just a journey that goes along with it. I think of for Tara and for Allie and for Kate, they were on that first team that we didn't even know if we were going to have enough players to play. 5 years ago, we didn't even know if we were going to have enough players to play. And then now we're competing in a super regional to go to the World Series. That was really, really important for them and for me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's important that if we're doing things right, we're better than what we did the year before. We're better than what we did the year before. And it was about going as far as we could this year and getting to the World Series, not just happy to be at a super regional.
Isn't that an amazing thing? Like, you know, you like people think about stepping stones. We take the whole zoom out, for example, of this season, and then you take the whole zoom out of 5 years. You know, those stepping stones are so important, but that mindset that you have, you know, that's really what you're talking about here, right? How do you foster that now moving forward, you know, like, because there is another stepping stone now to be taken.
Yeah, and I think that's just all came, you know, we talked all year about having a postseason mentality.
Great shirts, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, great shirts.
But postseason mentality is it all of a sudden, like your individual, like I think about it in the beginning of the year. Maybe you get a base hit and you bloop one in and you're running to first and you're mad because you blooped one in instead of driving it. Postseason, you don't care.
Right.
I'll take the bloop. I'll take anything because all I care about is that me and my team, we win.
Right.
That is postseason mentality. That is playing with no fear. That is not worried about what just happened or what could happen. It's about now and doing everything I can to help my team get to where we want to go. So I think them understanding a couple years ago that that's what you need to play in postseason, and then from there taking that postseason mentality at the beginning and understanding we got to play like that all year long to really get to where we want to go, and that's Oklahoma City.
There's something in the water at the Jane and at PK, because I tell you, the last couple of weeks, like that is exactly how Duck baseball has felt. You know, like you just find a way to win. It doesn't matter how. You know, like that's really an amazing, I guess, mentality mindset. I do want to ask you about. You talked about Tara McGowan, Allie Bunker. So some All-America honors for you. A little bit of the detail on the honors that you've heard about on the show, but worth revisiting. Tara McGowan, a first-team All-American, Diamond Sports National Catcher of the Year. Allie Bunker, second-team All-American, and an academic All-American honor as well today for Allie Bunker. Becomes just the fourth student athlete in program history to earn All-America honors on the field and in the classroom. The others, Coral Costa, shout out, former intern of OSN, Coral Costa, Sheridan Hawkins, and Alexa Peterson. That's a huge deal. That's a tremendous accomplishment, the success, student and athlete.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing. You know, it's about being a student first and an athlete second, and to be able to do both at a very, very high level. Only a small percentage can do that, you know, so that just kind of tells you who Allie Bunker is.
What's it mean for you to see her Tara, the others that are now moving on in their careers. I mean, that's emotional, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I am so thankful for them. I mean, I've been saying that all year. It's not about the softball, how good of softball players they are. It's about the people that they are. That's what I'm thankful for. It's a long season and it's a grind, and it's important that you surround yourself with really, really good people. And that's what I'm thankful for more than anything, is just the people that I've been surrounded by, and just Allie and Tara and Kate and Kyla and Krista, and what they are leaving on this program. I think it's important that they leave the program better than they found it, and they have all certainly done that.
Yeah. Now it's a bit unfair because the season's only just come to a close, but I know fans are like, okay, next year, what's going to happen in the offseason? How fast does your mentality shift that way as a coach, as a coaching staff toward, okay, we've wrapped up this year, now it's time to look to the future? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I think it just kind of happens. Your just mind starts to churn a little bit about what next year's going to look like and things that we need to start doing. It starts in the summer for these guys. They'll all take their breaks that they need to take, but then the summer, to me, is where what type of foundation do you come in the fall? Do you come in with a high foundation? Do you come with a solid foundation, or do you come below it?
Yeah.
That all is determined by what they do as a group in the summer.
Yeah. Off-season focuses. What do you want the focuses to be for your team?
One, to get a break, because you do need to do that. If you don't, then you'll wear yourself out. But then for two, what I think is really, really cool about this group that's returning is that they understand the formula. Like, they know how to win. They know what it takes to win, and to win at a high level. They understand the formula of our culture and how important that is. And, they understand all the different pieces. It's just now, what is it? What are you willing to do? To me, that's what it is. I think in the past we've been searching for what are those pieces. I think we have the pieces now. It's just, what are you willing? And I know what they're willing to do because I saw it this year.
Right. You talk about, the pieces that are in place. You got a ton of returning players as well. Like, we talk about some real studs in your lineup, but let's start maybe with the pitching. Your entire pitching staff returning. That's got to be a big deal.
This is going to be our strongest pitching staff we've had since I've been here. And they all have different looks. They're going to all be healthy. We were banged up a little bit this year, and it's tough. But every team's banged up. You just have to deal with it. But we're going to be at our strongest next year, so I'm looking forward to that.
We saw some players, too, I thought individually on the offensive side, really come on at the end of the year. And Taya Bird, Ariel Carlson. If they can continue that momentum, you got to like where they're headed in their careers.
Yeah, I do. And again, it's their journey. Each one of them start to figure out, as individuals, what they need to do to be able to play at a high level, compete at a high level. And I think some of those guys really figured that out this year.
And you've got your entire infield back apart from Allie Bunker, too. Yeah. So the returning pieces, I know, are exciting. What about where do you want to fill in on your roster? Do you have some thoughts headed into next year?
Yeah, no, we have a good freshman group that's coming in. We have some infielders and have a pitcher that's coming in. We have a little bit of everything that's coming in. I think Oregon, it's just about really being versatile. I feel like it's been like that since day one, since I've been here, and I think you'll see that. I think we've got really good athletes that are athletic and can do a lot of things for us. And what's cool is that they're going to come in to an elder group, which I love that we still have an elder group, and be able to, this group is going to be able to say, look, this is how we do it. This is how, this is how we get to postseason. This is how we get to super, to compete, to go to the World Series, where before they weren't able to say that.
Yeah.
And it's just that experience. You can sit and talk about it. I can share with them. Other coaches that have been there and done that can share it with them. But until you do it yourself, you just truly don't know.
It's different.
It's just,
It is. There are so many examples that I've heard from coaches with postseason and just how valuable it is. And, again, the zoom out picture, if you will, and talk about from year to year. I mean, the experience that's so valuable in postseason, that only helps you moving forward for this group.
For sure.
Yeah. Last thing, any final thoughts? I mean, before we let you go, and then we'll talk again in the fall as fall ball comes around. But what else should fans know? What did we miss anything at the end of the year here?
Just that this is that's a group that's, they're trending in the right way. I would think if you asked anybody, they would tell you how excited they are for next year. And so I think we're all excited. We appreciate all the support and love that our fans give us. Like I said, our most favorite place to play is the Jane and in front of our fans. So just, to continue to get their support, and hope we'll get to see some people out in the fall so you can see a look at, version 6.
Yeah.
And what we're going to look like, because we'll look different than version 5. But just very proud, very proud. I love how these guys competed to the very end.
That's awesome. Coach, thanks for being here every Tuesday. Thanks for putting up with us. And here's to a break, and then fall ball, all the things that come with the off season. We'll talk more softball before you know it, actually, because it always does come quick. Thank you again, Coach. Really appreciate the time. When we come back, Ryan Milano is going to sit down with us. We've got a few things to cover. Duck baseball getting ready for Super Regionals. Nothing going on. Track and field national championships are this weekend, too. Nothing. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you, now Ryan Milano. Moving from the director's chair to the guest chair. Welcome back to the guest chair. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I've been in all of the chairs around here over the past few days.
You
so
have.
It's been good.
Thanks for filling in. You heard Ryan on the show. So we have a couple things to cover. One, the year in review from Ryan Milano. Two, some good announcements about Ryan's future with Oregon Sports Network. And three, of course, the student angle for the Super Regional coming up. So we have a lot to cover. First of all, fifth-year senior Allie Bunker. Talked about this a little bit with Rob Mullens and with Melyssa Lombardi. Already an All-American at second base, she's now garnered national honors in the classroom for the second time in her career. Academic All-American, Allie Bunker. I want to start there with you. You've covered and done the games for Oregon softball now for a few years. Allie Bunker, Tara McGowan. I mean, that's the core of the original group. Summarize the season for us. We just heard from Coach Lombardi. What are your thoughts, especially on those leaders that are headed off in their careers?
Well, I think it's so important that all of the younger members of the team, whether it be juniors, sophomore, freshmen, they all talk about the season under the context of the seniors and version 5 and Allie and Tara and Kate and what it means for them. And I had the privilege over the course of the year to get close to some of the parents of the team, and I'm pretty close with Allie's parents, with the Bunkers, and the way that they just talk about her preparation and what she puts into not only her academics but also her schoolwork. And that Super Regional weekend, she had like 3 finals, she was taking care of projects, she had the supers, and she got it all done, and I think that's just the personification of Ali Bunker and the personification of how this team brought their mindset into the season.
Yeah, I think it's a tremendous accomplishment when you're an academic All-American. It's a huge deal. Congratulations to Ali Bunker. Reviewing the entire season for Oregon softball, you heard Coach Lombardi say, hey, they wanted to get to the World Series. That's everybody's goal, to get to the World Series. But still, I feel like a step up for Oregon softball this year. You called them all year long. Your thoughts?
Yeah, of course it is. It's obviously a step up for Oregon softball because it's the farthest that they've gone under Melyssa Lombardi. And it felt like the momentum was mounting to this over the past few seasons for the Ducks. When you had that 2021 year where Oregon got to the regional final in Texas and just couldn't get it done. Then last year in Fayetteville, same thing, just couldn't get it done. You felt like, okay, for Tara McGowan, Ali Bunker, the leaders of this team, they deserve to be a part of a super regional team. They deserve to get past that round of 64, and they did it this year. And I just think that 13-game winning streak in April, this team was clicking on all cylinders, and when the offense is going, they can put up big innings the same way that Oregon baseball's been putting together some big innings lately.
Baker's dozen in a row is tough to do. Oregon baseball's won 9 in a row. 13 in a row sounds good on the other diamond.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm all in for that. So speaking of Duck baseball, we know now that the student tickets have sold out. So you're a student. You know, you're our representative here on OSN of the student body now. So put on the entire University of Oregon student body, okay?
Okay, I got my backpack on.
I mean, I know that it's dead week right now. Next week is finals week. If there's one event that's going to pull you away when it's supposed to be nice weather in the 80s for first pitch, if there's one event that's going to pull you away from your studies, it can be the super regionals, right?
Oh, of course it is. I think the best way I can sort of put this into context is I got a text last week from one of my friends, and he doesn't follow baseball. He wasn't really in on the team, doesn't really know anything about it, and he was like, Milano, give me the rundown on this team. I'm all in. I want to be invested for the rest of the year. And
it's happening, folks.
They're all going to the game. A lot of the KWVA guys, we were looking for some people on the KWVA side of things to cover the game, and they were like, no, we're going with our friends. We're having a good time at the game. Like,
nice.
I think that the student section at PK Park is going to be electric this week, and a lot of people are going to show up.
That's great. All right, well, now some news before we talk a little bit more super regionals. For next year, you're going to hear – you've heard a lot of Ryan over the last few weeks, but next year you're going to hear even more of Ryan. Starting next year, every Monday's Duck Insider, this guy's show. I will be nowhere to be found. Ryan Milano is going to be hosting Duck Insider on Mondays. What do the people have in store for him here?
Well, you're just the Garfield of the Oregon Sports Network.
The Garfield.
Hate Mondays.
I love lasagna.
That's
great.
Well, I'm the resident Italian around here.
You know what you need to do, though, as the resident Italian? Do you double bake your lasagna?
We were
Crispy
talking about
edges.
this during the break, Joey. I'm still a novice in the kitchen.
You need to just try it anytime you get it at a restaurant. Ask for the double bake. Like, they run it through one more time. It gets crispy on the edges, on the top. It's phenomenal. At Pepe and Gianni's, it's the only way to go. Continue, please.
No, but I the way I look at it is I'm on a starting pitching schedule. You're on a reliever schedule where you're going pretty much every day. I got once a week. I'm excited for it. I get to break down the whole weekend, and then we leave the previews to you later in the week. I think it's going to be a great team that we're making here.
I'm looking forward to it. Also, we're happy to report that next year, as Jordan Brenner has moved on in his career, and we gave him the proper roast of Jordan Brenner send-off, next year Ryan Milano is going to be assisting me with baseball. So this will be from one diamond sport to another, a progression that I made, that Jordan made, and now Ryan gets to join the club next year with Oregon baseball. So we're looking forward to it, buddy.
Of course. I want to thank Jordan because he's been a mentor to me in more ways than one. He was the head director at KWVA when I first got in there. It feels fitting that he's the person who I'm taking over for, and he's having a ton of success with his career down in LA. So I'm really excited. What a better time to hop on with this Oregon baseball team. They're trending in the right direction, so I'm happy I'm getting on now.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, this is a good time. Much like fans that are like, hey, I want in. Well, the 25% off season ticket promo is still going on. So we could also call it the Ryan Milano ticket promo. I mean, people that want to jump in when you're coming into the fold to call some baseball games. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they're in the stands. They got their headphones in, listening to us in the booth. I think it's going to be a great team.
That's right. So Ryan Milano, thanks for being the OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire, and we'll see you a bunch next year.
I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, buddy. Time out. When we come back, more details on the Super Regionals. It's going to be here before we know it, Friday at 5 o'clock on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Tomorrow on Duck Insider, we've got Mark Wasikowski, Oregon baseball head coach. He's going to meet with the media in the HCC courtyard, actually, tomorrow at some point. And so we'll have that for you on the show tomorrow, previewing Super Regionals. We also will talk through a bunch of things with Rob Mosley as we get ready for the Supers, and Jerry Allen's going to join us. Of course, Jerry was on the call in 2012 in the Super Regionals when the Ducks had that heartbreak blooper. I told him today when I talked to him on the phone, actually, I said, hey, we're going to talk about that. And he was like, yeah, all right. I don't think he really wants to, but we're going to bring it up because I think that the history here, in all seriousness, like I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek and I probably shouldn't. In all seriousness, like that was a huge moment in Oregon baseball's progression. And I think we could all look back now 11 years later and say that that is still a defining moment, and now you can sort of move past that moment. You talk about like milestones and those stepping stones, like we had that discussion with Coach Lombardi. That's what's upcoming here for Oregon baseball, you know, to take that next step forward. Super Regionals, 5 o'clock Friday. We got a lot more preview for you on the show tomorrow. GoDucks.com/superregional for more info. Senior Owen Everett also capped a stellar season. Ping All-America third team in the Golf Coaches Association announcement coming today. Congratulations to Owen Everett. The Ducks, men's golf, man, they always seem to perform super well. Good show today. Thanks to Rob Mullens, Melyssa Lombardi, Ryan Milano. See you tomorrow on Duck Insider.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.com